Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So we are doing something cool today. We're creating a steel cable, kind of the industrial size that you see, maybe on a freight ship, right? So twisted steel cable. And if you're modeling anything like a harbor scene or maybe something with the marine vessels, then that might be something you need to use, or just use your creativity. Anyway, we're going to start by creating a twisted curve. So we're going to jump to the top view and we're going to go to create curve tool, CV curve tool. And let's say that the cable is just running something like this. And at the end, we're going to clamp that end in, right? So at the end, we need to make a very sharp curve like this. Flip it around. Bring it very close together. That's going to be where a clamp will be. And then have it stick out a little bit, right? Okay, we're going to hit enter. So we're not just going to do the threads, we're going to do the end caps and we're going to do the clamp and all that, yeah? So now that we have this, we're going to go into our poly modeling menu and we're going to click on this guy, which is the sweep mesh. Now, when we click on this, it's going to look very ugly, right? Let me just jump in my perspective view here. And you're probably thinking, well, what on earth is that? Well, no worries. So once you click on the sweep mesh, it will open up the attribute editor and we can go in here and we can change a whole bunch of settings. Now, I actually closed that by accident, but no worries. There it is again. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to wave and then we're going to tweak the scale. So we're going to bring that scale down to the point where we can actually see that little thing at the end there, right? Now, as you can see, it's not aligned very well. It's not closing very well, and that's related to the interpolation here. We're going to increase that precision, and we're going to ramp that up all the way to 100. Maybe not exactly to 100, but this looks a lot better, right? And if we have a look, you'll see that this guy is very, very flat. Reason being that it's set to wave, we'll set it to poly, that's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll go and change the distribution. So we're going to click on distribution. Now we'll get multiple cables, and depending on what you want, you can have more that are thinner or less that are thicker, right? So I could go in here and increase the number, let's say to 10, right? And then I can scale the individual instances if I like to get something like this. And we got some geometry that's cutting into geometry, but this is where a clamp is going to be, so that's fine, no worries. So I'm happy with this, let's say maybe a bit thicker. I don't want any gaps to be there. So let's see here, we're going to scale it, not that one, scale instances, yeah, until they're pretty much touching, like so. All right, now one thing you want definitely in a steel cable is twisting, right? So we're going to go to transformation, we're going to go to twists, and we're going to start to twist this. Now, you're probably wondering, well, that's not a lot of twists. No, that's true. You can see the twisting going on quite a bit. But if you're not happy with that, you can go and let's say set that to 5 and you'll get a lot more. And we'll go way up to 50. That's of course way too much. I think so anyway. So how about we do 25? Let me try it again. 2, 5. And that looks a lot better. Now this should probably look a little bit more like a very thick piece of rope. I don't think they can twist a cable to this extent. So maybe we'll just take it down a little bit, right? How about 12? Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so 12. Now that we have this, we basically have the first section of the cable that we need, and then we need the clamp and the end pieces and whatnot. But in order to make this a standalone object, we're going to select it. We're going to go and delete the history and freeze transformation and that kind of thing. So now in our attribute editor, we shouldn't have a curve anymore. At least we can delete it and it doesn't change our object, right? Okay, so let's look at the end cap here. We need a polygon cylinder for that. So let me bring that over. And we're going to hit R, we're going to scale that down. After frame, let's jump to our top. Let's hit E and rotate it, hold down J, flip it on its side, and then we're going to make it a bit longer. W to move it in here, F to frame it, R to scale it, and then let's rotate. And let's move it into position, something like this. Of course, it's still too big. Okay, now we can jump into our perspective view. And let's get in here and select these faces, hold down your tab key. And hit delete, and I think we don't have everything. And we don't. Right, now that we have this, we can scale it down. So we're going to hit R, we're going to scale it to about here, W. We're going to bring this out, double click on this guy and set it to object orientation, which will make that a bit better, like so. All right. Now we are going to make this look a little bit smoother and we need to give it some thickness. So first I'm going to select it, I'm going to right click at the edge, double click. We're going to bevel this and let's go in here and set the fraction to 0.1 and then we'll set the segments to 3. That's fine, and then we'll give the whole thing some thickness. So we're going to hit extrude and let's do 0.05. That's way too much. 0.01, 0.005. That's better. Let's do a preview smooth. Let's hit 3. Something looking like this. 1 to go back. We're going to bevel these two edges as well. Just hit bevel. That's fine. And then we can go to mesh and smooth. And then of course you can grab this and stick one at the other end as well if you like, right? Okay, now for the clamping situation, what we're going to do is we're going to create a torus. And I think I'll just put it in wireframe mode for a second here. Okay. So we got our torus, we're going to move it over and we're going to scale it down a lot. And actually, let's open up the attribute editor. Let's go in here. We're going to set the section radius to 0.1. And we might need to increase that in a second, we'll see. We're going to scale it, rotate it, hold down J. Hit W, move that in here, scale it down a lot. After frame, hit 5 for shaded mode again. Hit W, let's move that in here. Now we definitely want that to be thicker, but let me just dive in here first and rotate that a little bit. That would be the good angle, I would say. Let's see if I change the section radius, if that messes up that thing or not. It doesn't. That's good. 0.25 maybe, and let's do 0.2. Okay, we're gonna hit R, we're gonna scale that in. Too bad there, I would say. All right, then we're gonna take half of it. So let's go in here to face. Let's delete this and clean it up. And we need to delete some more. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. That still looks good, all of it. All right, we're gonna go in here to edge. Double click and shift double click. Control E to extrude. W to pull out. G to repeat. W to pull out again. And we are gonna scale this a little bit more. G and W. G and W. That would be all right. Then we're gonna scale it down some more. Push it out so it's not cutting in there. And we can even do a little bit more. So it's kind of on the top and bottom there, and then a tiny little bit, we'll push it out like so. So now I have a good indication how far this needs to come out. So we're going to go to edge again. Control E to extrude. Let's pull that out. That should be enough, right? Then we're going to go in here. We're going to go to mesh and fill hole. And then we're going to double click on this guy. G to repeat. And then we're going to go to face. Edit mesh and poke to get rid of the n-gons. And G to repeat. And there you have it. So now that we have that, we need to have a clamp that will go over this. And for that, what we'll do is we'll take a, let's see, we'll take a plane. It's way over there. And we're gonna flip it upward like so. Then we're gonna get it in here. F to frame so we can see where we're at. We're going to scale this down quite a bit just to get it into position, right? We're going to move this in here. Let's hit R and push it up like so. W to move that in. R to scale it in and down just a little. All right. And then we are going to rotate it a little bit. Hit W, we're going to move that in. And then we're going to go in here to edge, select 1 and select 2, Control E. W to push that in here like so, right? And then it's going to become a little bit more tricky because from here what we're going to do is we're going to hit let's see, extrude. We'll hit R. We'll push them together like so. That's top and bottom. G to repeat. W to push back. And R to scale down. G to repeat. W to push back. And R to push down. G to repeat again, W to push back again, and R to push down. We'll get there, no worries. All right, then we're gonna take this edge, and we're gonna go to bridge, linear, and 0, and bridge. Then we're gonna go in and tweak them. I'm wondering whether that's necessary because we're not going to see this, so let me just give this a go. We're going to go to mesh and fill hole, and we'll double click right there, hit G to repeat. Then we're going to do a preview smooth, hit 3, starting to get there, yeah. We're going to hit W, we're going to move this back a little bit. Hit 1 to go back. Let's go in here and insert edge loop. And we'll put in 2. And I'm aware of the end guns. Look at that sorted, right? Okay, we'll go in here. We'll take 1 and 2 and W and move that in. And then move them down a little bit. That would be all right. Then we're going to go to the modeling toolkit. We'll take the multi-cut. We'll go from here to there. Hit enter. There to there. And then the same at this end. So that looks all right. Then we're going to insert edge loop again. It's still set to 2. We'll do 2 like this. We'll hit R and kind of flare them out a little bit. And that should reinforce that shape a little. Let's hit Q on the keyboard. We're going to go in here. We're going to hit 3. That's starting to look like something, right? Then we can take that intersection here and bring that in. Hit 1 to go back. We're going to go in and take these faces. 1, 2, 3. Hit W, push them inward like so. Try the preview smooth again. That's looking good. And now we're going to hit 1 to go back, and we want this to go in a little bit. Actually, what we'll do is we'll take the edges, because we're going to have washers and nuts on this, so it has to be somewhat flat, right? So we're going to straighten this out, and then we'll take these guys and we're going to jump into, I guess we can do it here. Right, go to vertex, drag select, push them out to about there, I would say. Then we can go in here, take this guy, hit 3. Let's tweak that a little bit. we're going to go in here, right click at the vertex, we're going to drag, select these and these. That's better. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit R and we're going to flare them up a little like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. So with this guy selected, we're going to go to Mesh and Smooth. Set that to 2 and fine. Okay, so now we need to have 2 rings. What are they called? Washers. Yeah, washers. That's what it is. We'll go create polygon pipe. It's in there somewhere. Yeah. And we're going to hit W. We're going to hit R. We're going to push that down quite a bit. E to rotate, hold on J, flip it on its side, W to push that in, F to frame, R to scale down, F to frame again, scale this down a lot more. And of course, I could have created the whole clamp thing separate from the cable and then bring it in, but you know, I didn't go that route. So we're going to scale it up a little bit so we can actually go around this guy. Bring that in. Like so. Let's smooth this guy out. Let's see. We'll insert edge loop. We'll set it to manual and we'll put one in here. Not there. There, yeah. And one in here. Okay. So we can go in here and smooth that. All right. And then we can take this ring right here. And the idea is that we now make the outer perimeter smaller. So we're going to hit R. We're going to bring that in. So it's resting on the whole thing, yeah? Okay, we're going to go to object mode. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to hit W. We're going to move that down. F to frame. Bring it in there. And then we've got 1 and 2, and we'll hit 3 to smooth that out. Yep. And now we need some nuts. So we're going to take a polygon cylinder. Let's hit W. Bring it over here. Control A. Set that to 6. Hit R to push that down. A to rotate, hold on J, scale it down some more, W to move it in, F to frame, scale it down a lot more. And now it all depends on what level of detail do you want. I mean, if you're going to have an extreme close-up of this section, I mean, this is already quite high poly, right? You wouldn't do this if this were like a prop in the background, but it's also to have an understanding of how you would model it, right? Okay, let's hit F to frame. This should have a little bit more thickness. And we're going to scale it down a little bit. And we're going to bring that in like so. Bring it up a little bit. And we're going to rotate that just so it's not extremely straight. We're going to duplicate that, W. Double click on this guy. Turn that to world orientation. Bring that down. After frame. Rotate it in the other direction. And there you have it. So let's have a look at what we got. We got this. We got our end right there. We got our twisted cable. Let's get into our loop right here. Close this guy down. Get rid of this, and there you have it. So a twisted steel cable with an end cap and clamped off, right? So yeah, that's how I would approach it. It's of course totally up to you how you would do that, but hey, there it is. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments if you did. Hit that like and hit that subscribe. And you would do me a huge favor if you hit that sub button, because it seems that almost 90% of the people that view my videos are not actually subscribed, right? It would help the algorithm, and although my videos are not monetized, you know, it's just some positive reinforcement, I would say. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.